Okay, here we are in the breeding shed, and we're doing an update. This is Frost and Cinnamon, and they are doing absolutely nothing. Sigh. This is Sparky, and his little girl is in that nest. Kelly, she's a normal green. She has sitting on 3 eggs so far. This is Verde, and his lady in there is Headweek. I worried a lot about her. She got egg-bound with her first egg, and she really suffered, but she seems to be pulling it out. She's laid 2 more eggs. She's not sitting on them yet. She's just standing in there guarding them, but she'll probably lay a few more, and then she'll do it. She still looks a little teetery to me, but I may just be paranoid. This is Aqua. His lady is Rainbow, and she is in that nest sitting on 2 of her own eggs. She looks like she's getting ready to lay a 3rd, and I popped an egg in there from another bird that laid an egg when out in the main flight cage. So she's sitting on a random egg as well. And there's Blue and Fancy, and they are doing nothing. Sheesh. Up here we have Sprite, and his lady's first egg is due to hatch on Thursday, so just a few days from now. And she's sitting on, she was on 4 eggs for a long time, and she seems to have laid a 5th and maybe a 6th, which if they hatch are going to be a week or so younger than all the rest of them. But as we know, that doesn't necessarily create a problem. These 2 down here are full of love, and she's in and out of the box, but still no eggs. I just brought in Jester and Sky, and being a already bonded pair, they're just sitting in this cage and looking at it and going, oh. I kind of, it's interesting how a bonded pair that knows each other and, you know, they've never actually bred before, but they picked each other in the flight cage. She's a single factor Spangle, he's a single factor dominant Pied. They're going to make awesome babies. They're both big, hefty birds with decent feathers, so I expect nothing but good things from these guys. So I just brought them in a few hours ago, and they are just checking it out. Up here, we have Cloud, who is, she is a single factor Spangle Cinnamon Cobalt. So she's really, really light because of the cinnamon and the Spangle put together. But if you look on the back side of her, she looks a very light blue, but on the back side of her you can see that she's a Cobalt. And this is Bubba. Bubba is just a normal, he looks like he probably has a violet factor because he's got a wash of blue on his green feathers. He has beautiful feathering, and he's a nice big bird. Whereas Cloudy he goes beyond beautiful, spectacular feathering, but she's tiny. So I put these 2 together because I'm hoping to get her amazing feather on a bird that's bigger. Both of these birds are 9 months old. And this, I just brought these 2 in. Oh, and these 2 don't know each other at all, but as you can see, Miss Cloudy thinks that nest box is the bomb. She was in there, I hadn't even put Bubba in the cage yet, and she was already in that nest box. And she chases him around the cage like, okay, let's do this. As you can see, her cere is all brown and crusted, and she is ready to go. So, Bubba, you get this. This is going to happen for you no matter what. You're just like an innocent bystander in this one. That girl is running your show. And these 2 I just brought in. This is Lilith. She is a Opaline and a great big tall girl with beautiful feather. I suspect she's under a year old, even though I know that she's already been bred. I think she was bred once and failed because she was too young. So she's had a nice respite. She's grown, she's hefty, and her cere is crusted on one side, if you look at that, and still a little whitish blue on the other side. So she's kind of hasn't made up her mind yet, I guess. And this is Razzle. He's Bubba's brother. He's the older brother, but he's a little bit smaller. He is not a small bird. So that's to give you some idea about how big Lilith is. She really, when I got her, she was tall but a scrawny little thing. I think the guy wasn't feeding her enough because she just ate and ate and ate and grew and grew. And so now she's a really big bird. Razzle is, she's probably about a year. Razzle's 9 months. He's got nice feather, he's got a nice shape about him, and he's a decent sized bird. He's not tiny. So I have expected things out of these two. So that's the breeding update. And again, they've been in here for an hour. They don't even know each other, so we'll see what happens.